Hey Jackal, do you want to apply some cool looking effects to borders, texts, and other shapes in DaVinci Resolve? That's what I'll show you today. We'll be making the easy effect, I'll show you which nodes to use, then I'll also show you the other effects that I've made, and then I'll leave it up to you. Now let's get digital. So the easiest effect between these four is the fire one. So let's make this one. We'll go to the media pool, right click, make a new fusion composition. I just left it to default, make it, then put it onto the timeline, select it and put the playhead over it, and go into the fusion page. For this effect, if you want to have a border, you will need a rectangle node, a background node. Let's first connect them, and I'll open the inspector tab. For the rectangle, we'll change the width and the height to 1. We'll uncheck the solid and change the border width to what we want. And we can always come back to change the settings. Then we'll add the fast noise. Let me display it on the left side, just so we'll see what this will do. And we'll use a displace node. So control space or shift space, displace, and connect the fast noise. In this case, I won't be changing anything in the displace node, I'll be only adjusting the fast noise. So what we'll usually be adjusting is the detail. This will probably be set to max, and the scale as well. You can then adjust the contrast and the brightness. And if you want to have an animation, you'll adjust the seed rate. The higher the value, the faster the animation. So for a flame, probably around 0.15. You can then also use discontinuous, inverted, and the combination of the two. In this case, I've used discontinuous. But this will also depend on the other settings, so in this case maybe discontinuous and inverted looks better. As you do get some flaminess like effect, then all we need to do is change the color. You can do that in the background. So I'll be adding 2 glows to this effect. I'll be just using this glow. You can also use soft glows and other effects. Now in this case I'll be using one glow before the displace. This gives us a shadow. And the second glow gives us this kind of a shadow. So let's connect one here. We'll see if we'll use both nodes. I'll disable the first one for now. In the glow node, you'll go to the color scale and adjust the scale. But in this case, if you want to have anything visible, the background should be white. So we have some shade, and I'll be changing this to yellowish color. Let's see what this glow will do. So we could use it. I think the first glow in my example just now is a bit too much, so I'll leave it out. So just like that, we have a flaming effect. Now if you want to apply this to other shapes, we can maybe use an ellipse. We now have a sun. You can uncheck the solid, adjust the border width, and you'll get something else. Then we can take the text, type something in, and simply connect it to the displace. We'll have to change the color, increase it in size. So you have this kind of effect. If you want to outline the text, you'll have to go to the shading, disable the 1, go to tab 2. This has the red outline, enable it, and change the color. And then you can also change the thickness of it. If you want to have custom shapes, you can come to Effects, Tools, Shape. I'll use an ellipse, I'll use a star, an S-boolean, and render node, so that I can combine all of these nodes. So this is my shape. Let me move one part of it out. Maybe like this. In the S-boolean, you can change the operation, and in the style, you will be changing the color. And then you can simply connect this to the displace, and you'll get a different shape. You can also get outlines from this shape. You don't have to do it like this. If you just want to have the final shape, so let me put this back to solid. you have an S outline, so you can simply connect it. You'll get the outline and you can adjust the thickness. You can also animate it. And if you don't want this dot, simply select this option to get rid of it. So these are the quick basics on how to make this type of effects. Now let me show you how I made the other effects using different tools. The lightning is the most complex one. So let's go maybe with this one. This is just being copied, so let me remove it. This was for the text. So I have rectangle as before. The background, I've changed this to a gradient type, radial, and I've changed the color of the left and right point and positioned it. So just take the point and put it wherever you want. Then I've added a blur node. This will go into the displays. So the blur node is faint. Then we have the glow. I've added some soft glow. Then we have the displays. I've used the base radial type, adjusted the offset, refraction strength, and the spread. And as for the fast noise, it looks like this. The detail is maxed. The scale, I lowered it down. The contrast is a bit higher. You can adjust the brightness as you see fit. And the seed rate is slow, so the animation is also slow. With the offset, you will adjust how far the animation reaches, and this is also adjusted with the brightness. So you'll have to use the combination of these two settings to get the result that you want. As for the text, it's exactly the same. Now the last node that I have is the merge, which combines this rectangle shape with this effect. Then I have the psychedelic effect. I've also used the water setup for this. So everything is the same, as you can see. I've only used a different approach to make the border. So I've used a paint node. I've selected polyline stroke. Made the border just like this. Went to the brush control. Selected the shape to be solid. Changed the size to what I wanted. And let me just show you how this looks like. So you'll change the size to what you want. But the magic happens when you go to the stroke controls and adjust the spacing. By default, it only goes to 1. You can adjust this value to anything that you want. And just adjust this value to get the result that you want. Now the one difference that you will immediately see, when I connect this paint node to here, the background will turn black. If I go into the edit page, it looks okay. But in case it doesn't, simply go to this background node and lower the alpha to 0. And to change the color of these shapes, simply go to the paint node, change the color to anything that you want. Now when it comes to the adjustments, I had to make some, mostly in the displays node, to get to the result that I found interesting. Now for the last one, which is the lightning, the bottom option was for the text. I've disconnected it because it has the same setup as above. Like before, I have a background. I've changed the color to bluish because this will be lightning. I've added some glow. This is just default values. Nothing is changed. Then we have the first displays. The fast noise looks like this. I don't see really much difference at this point, so let me adjust the values. So if you don't adjust any values, this will not do anything. So you may want to adjust them by a tiny bit. Then I have edge detect. This is the option that you need. So control space or shift space, type in edge detect. Select the mode and choose grayscale. Then adjust these options to what looks the best to you. In this case, it's important that in the merge node, you select the apply mode and change it to multiply. Otherwise, it will look like this. And by doing so, we'll basically be masking out everything that's inside and leave the edges. Then I have a 3D keyer. This is needed if you won't be changing any of the apply modes in the edit page. otherwise you'll have a black image. So I've simply added this, made the line like so, and it removed all of the blacks. If you apply the 3D keyer after this, you won't get any shading, or a different kind of shading. So I've applied it here. Then we have another displays. This one is XY. I've used an expression here so you can type in equals and connect the plus to the Y refraction so that you only need to adjust one value. The fast noise looks like so. You can adjust it to any way you want. And as for the animation, lightning is fast, so you can adjust the seed rate to be also fast. And then I have glow, soft glow, and another glow at the end. Now in the edit page, you'll want to select the composition, or if you make the template, select the template, and you'll want to change the composite mode to add. This is on normal, and let me show you what happens if I remove the 3D keyer, so it's black. This is what you'll see, which is probably not what you want. In this case, add also works, so you don't need the 3D keyer, but just in case you forget to change the mode, it will look like this. Now is add the best option that you can select. Usually it works just fine, but you can use any of the other options that look the best to you. Now if you want to make this into a template so that you can simply put this effect onto any video clip in the edit page, you'll want to add some media. So media in, type in media, select media in, put this at the end, switch the inputs so that the media in is in the back and this will be overlaid on the top. With the media in node selected, we can go to the media source and select the background. So it will look like this. Now the background means that whatever is under this. Now in this case we do see what's in with the background selected, we see with the media source set to background, we see what's beneath the with the media source selected as background, we see what is with the media source set to background, we see what is beneath this clip. So if I move this clip out and put this one in, we'll now see the fire beneath it, as you can see. Now we will select all of the nodes, except the media out and the media in. Right click on the last node in the composition, this one being merge for, make a macro. Make sure that the merge for is the only node that is red, so displays to, I'll uncheck the output. And the merge for should have the output and the background, which is this. The background will be the video that will be applying the effect to. You'll then need to go over each individual node, ask yourself which setting you want to be able to adjust in the edit page. If in case you want to adjust the border width in rectangle, find this node, rectangle 1, and enable the border width. For the background, we could maybe adjust the color, so enable anything that has to do with the color. Repeat this process for each node. I don't really need these two nodes, I should delete them, but anyway, once you have everything done, go to File, Save as Group, Fusion, Templates, Edit. Since this will be an effect, go to Effect, give it a name, I'll save it to Electric Effect, save, yes, wait a little bit, then close. If you close too soon, you may need to restore DaVinci Resolve. If under the effects you don't see the template that you've made, so simply type in the name of the template and put it onto a clip. I can also apply to this clip. I can also extend this clip, and as you can see, it goes all the way till the end. And if you go to the Inspector tab, Effects, you will have all of the options that you've enabled when you made the template. And that's how you can make and apply cool looking effects to anything in DaVinci Resolve. And if you made the template and saved it as a group, you can come to the Fusion page, open the macro tool, and instead of using the rectangle, you can apply this to a text. though in this case the lighting doesn't look the best, so I'd have to make some tweaks. So let me just go to this one. Now let me just show you the changes that I've made. So all of these nodes look exactly the same, except I didn't use these two displaces. And that's basically it. For some effects, you will need some fast noises and displaces. For others, like in this text example, you don't. Was the video awesome? If it was, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell notification icon to know when my next video comes out. I'm Simon, and until next time, jackals, keep it digital.